Bienvenidos a Les Chisme con Chantal Ibar. Ay, Dios mío. La comida es mi vida. Yo soy dominicana. Diablo, cuánta mierda yo hablo. Bienvenidos, welcome a otro episodio, another episode of Les Chisme con su host Chantal Ibar. From Let's Try This to Let's Chisme, eating, having fun, and now long-form content with people that have been in this journey since I started creating content. And if you don't speak English, don't worry. Wait 2 weeks and el contenido en español viene. Pero to keep going, like, subscribe, share it, and let's keep bringing you the heat because this episode is freaking hot. AKA my guest from Jam Hot Chicken. Andrew.
We out here.
Literally, guys, if you ask Andrew for heat or something hot, you will regret it because you will feel it for weeks in your intestines.
Oh, no.
Like, he brings the actual heat.
Oh, no. The crazy thing is, I love spicy food, but, like, it's not, like, my favorite thing in the world. I don't even know how I got into this. No.
Guys, so Andrew owns a really cool, like, pretty small, but really cool. Like, it's 400 feet, you said?
465 to be exact, square feet.
Wow. Pardon the math.
Take out the bathroom, it's like 300.
300 square feet spot in Winter Park, this, like, nice bougie area in Orlando, if you didn't know. And it's all chicken sandwich or a chicken platter, but it's all fried chicken base. And there's, like, heat levels. Oh, my God. I can barely handle mild. It is so hot and amazing. But let me backtrack. Do you remember how we met?
Maybe not like the exact day, but I know, for like with you, Chantel, you've been supporting me since I was like a little pop-up. So it was definitely in that realm. Was it at
John.
Don't say it. It was
I'm
at
testing him.
Not the spot on oh my God, I'm forgetting the spot and my realtor owns it. Grape and Grain, or was it Grape and Grain?
No. He didn't know, and I said, you're gonna be put in the spot if you're here.
It was the spot that we did the hot Cheeto dust on the Sando, no?
No. That was like second or third time.
What's the name of that spot? Why am I so bad?
The first time I ever came across your chicken was because it was all over TikTok. It's the pandemic. Everybody's like trying to get out, and it's a pop-up outside, so that's kind of safe at that time. It was outside Whirlpool, Easy Lock Coffee.
Yes,
that was the first. That was the first time. I showed up. I was like, oh, I want a chicken sandwich, and then. Obviously, if you know me or if you didn't know, I was just like right off the bat, hey, would you mind like moving your hands like this? Or can I record you? Is that okay?
I remember that. Oh, now I remember.
Yeah, I was like, is that okay? And I'm like out here with my phone over his fryer.
I do remember that.
About to burn myself, but I'm like, can I record you a chicken?
That's amazing.
And it's like outside, he's wearing a mask.
Sweating, just like dying. Like, sure.
Sure.
Just saying yes to everything at that time because we started just doing like curbside pickups from the house. And that was what I was going to say. Like maybe I met you during that, but I don't think you came during and that was like the true like pandemic curbside pickup from the house. If you know, all through Instagram.
Oh, wow.
That's like what kind of started the journey. But Whippoorwill, that was like the second official pop-up.
Yeah, I went because I kept seeing you sold out, and I saw a couple people. And back then, there was another popular, but this one was like Nashville Hot Chicken. It was pretty popular. Yep. And then you came in the scene, and it was like, oh, the other contender. And it was like, is this a chicken battle? Like, what's happening in Orlando?
Chicken wars.
And so I had tried the other one a couple times. Yeah. And I was like, let me try the other option.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I don't know. I need to know if it's good or not.
You gotta mix and match, and definitely at that time, we've come such a long way since that Whippoorwill pop up. Pop ups are tough, I tell you, man. Shout out to everyone in
I remember it
Orlando
was the
doing
white tarp
pop-ups.
and that's it.
Yep.
And I remember your brother was with you.
Yep.
'Cause-
Me and the bro,
Yeah,
literally.
because it was two tall guys just there.
Just figuring it out. Just, going through the motions and just trial and error.
And I got lucky because I went when it was only me, and I went with another friend.
At the Whippoorwill, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect."
Whippoorwill was awesome. Tyler, who's no longer the owner, which was news to me, but Tyler and his brother, I think they have moved now. But yeah, Whippoorwill, very gracious. The very first. Sorry, I'm hijacking this.
Do it. No, this is for you. Go for it.
So let's see. So let's go back. So even before the pandemic, before the Whippoorwill, I was working at Pizza Bruno. So that's kind of like the background for me.
That's the background of how you started cooking.
Yes. So that was
I
my
it.
first real kitchen job, learning how to cook on the line. And so I was there for about 2.5 years. So from 27, almost 3 years probably.
Was it a good journey?
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Love Bruno. Shout out to Bruno. He just opened up in Maitland, I believe. His second or third location. I kind of lose track. But I was there for, a couple years, and then 2019 rolled around, and I just really wanted to do a pop-up, just serving hot chicken.
You're like, screw my Italian roots. I'm gonna do hot chicken.
Literally. So let's even backtrack before that. So right, Italian roots. My mom's Lebanese, my dad's Italian. Hot chicken, where the hell does that come from, right? I didn't even know what hot chicken was till a trip to LA, of all places.
Wow.
To learn what Nashville hot chicken was. So my brother Justin at the time was living in LA, and this place called Howlin' Ray's in LA that he just couldn't shut up about. I had never heard of hot chicken, never heard of Howlin' Ray's, whatever. This is 2017, before it really blew up. So I went there, and holy shit.
You're like, whoa.
I was and it wasn't even just the food. The food was insane, unreal. But Howlin' Ray's, their customer service was through the roof. And I was like, holy shit. It just blew my mind. The food, amazing. But the customer service, everything just in one. I was like, damn. And I was already at Pizza Bruno at this time. So customer service and hospitality and food, everything. I was always just observing, right? So I was like, damn, if I ever did something, I would want to do it like this. But whatever, you go back home, you don't do anything. You just go back to your normal life.
Your normal hustle. You're like, okay, that was
go
a great
back to
idea.
work. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a fun inspiration. That was a fun little trip, whatever. You go back to doing your regular shit. So time rolls around, and whatever 2019 rolls around, and Bruno was gracious enough to let me do a pop-up outside Pizza Bruno.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No license. Don't tell anyone. We did it all just on the go, go. Let's just fucking bust ass and do it.
That's awesome.
And that's the way to do it.
I don't think the authorities are gonna come 5 years later. You good?
I'm good, right? I think we're good. And if if they did, it's oh, we didn't know. We're just sorry.
If you don't take the risk, you wouldn't be here today.
Right.
Gotta go for it.
So that's kind of how it started. So so we did that event at Pizza Bruno. That was October 2019.
Oh, so it's coming quick.
So
damn.
And it went really well. I think we did I don't know, maybe between 60 and 75 sandwiches.
With no
promotion, no anything except an Instagram post 2 days before. And we didn't even have a following. We kind of relied on just regular Pizza Bruno patrons to just come out and try it and hang out, and went really well. And I was like, shit, I love this. I want to do this. But then what happened? I went right back to just work. Went right back to Pizza Bruno, went right back to normal life.
Was it just because, oh, this is routine, this is just easier, let me keep...
Probably some of that, right? It was everything sounds fun, when you just are talking about it, shooting the shit. But when it's time to do work, it's the hard part is just do anything, right? So yeah, I just kind of reverted back to going back to work, whatever life was at that time.
So 2 times.
Yes, twice.
Still in the back of his head.
Still lingering, still there. Pandemic hits March 2020, so a few months after. I was in New York City, March 13th, like the day, like it was like
Doomsday.
breaking news.
Oh
Like
my
if you're in New York
God.
City, you're fucked. Get out. Like it was like that kind of like, holy shit. So me being in New York City, rightfully so, I was furloughed coming back to work, right? So I was like, shit, okay, like what could I do in this meantime? Just like looking for like inspiration, looking for trying to figure something out. And that's like when it kind of dawned on me, like, let's just do curbside pickups from the crib all through Instagram, and I'm going to sell a hot chicken sandwich. That's it.
Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm.
I think the chicken was following you. Like, Andrew.
Third time's the charm. But so, right.
Andrew, I'm here.
Yeah. So
I'm your chicken.
something was always there. I kept coming back to it. So with that said, we did like one, right? And like, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know, like, you know, whatever the hell. I just like put it out there on Instagram. Holy shit. An hour, 2 hours later, you got 75, you know, requests coming in for a sando. So then I was like, oh, now I got to commit to this.
Like, I got to deliver.
I was like, now this is real. So, okay, like we're doing this. So I did one while still working at Pizza Bruno on the side or whatever, full time, I guess, but being furloughed. So the first one went really well. After that, so now the fourth time, I'm like, this is what I want to do. I was like, oh, like I love this. Like I want to keep doing these. Like, how can I do that? So then you kind of just go through the motions. Got some insight and advice from people that had done pop-ups. Like talking to Bruno, because Bruno like came from that world, like doing pop-ups first before he started Pizza Bruno. So then you kind of like you get all like the necessary shit, like the LLC, form the LLC, get your business license.
Did you have any other business background or anything?
Not per se. I mean, I was like, you know, I guess like savvy enough to, you know left from right, you know, right? So it's like, but I had to learn a lot.
I've heard it all here. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I've had to learn so much. Oh my gosh, Chantal,
like how much business did you know? Or like, was this just
probably nothing? Like
nothing.
In reality, probably nothing.
Nothing.
Like on a scale to 10, like probably 2, right? Like I knew like what I knew, and like that was probably it. And I'm still learning. So yeah, I guess there was like a big learning curve on like what I needed, how to get it, what to do. So like once I acquired like all like the necessary shit to like do pop-ups and like legit and like be like real about it, ended up quitting Pizza Bruno. Like probably like we did like I think 3 or 4 curbside pickups. After like we did those, I just left Pizza Bruno.
That was quick.
Yeah, we did. It was like,
bro. That was very quick.
It was like a month and a half.
Wow.
We did them for like 4 weekends straight.
If nobody told you, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Only 3 or 4? That's awesome.
They all went really well. And I was like, shit, like this is like what I want to do. Like, how can I just like do this full time, right? So it was like, let's just form the business, start doing pop-ups around town. No real like no real end goal at that time. It was just this like, let's just do it. Like start off slow, like snowball effect, right? Like you start off slow, like small, and you just kind of keep rolling. And
how did you know like what fryer to use?
Oh my gosh.
Like the temperature, like recipe. Like how did all that come together?
Research. Talking to people that were doing it, reaching out to people that lived in different cities, states. People that were frying chicken, you know, in Nashville.
You were not shy. You were like, I'm gonna reach out to everyone. No,
yeah. At that, you know, for me, I didn't have anything to lose. You know, it's especially like nowadays. You know, we can do that shit through Instagram, through YouTube, through. So a lot of it was self-taught, self-research, trial and error. So
you just like, okay, let me just use whatever resources are out there. Yes, I love that.
100%. So that was like how I.
Not shy at all.
Sometimes I can be, for sure, sometimes, but you know, I think you got to get out there sometimes and just like try shit. And I didn't have anything to lose at that time. You know, I was just figuring it out and recipe building, just trying new things and what worked. And I think all the way, like literally all the way up until like we opened Jam Hot, like in Winter Park, I was still like recipe building. I was still like figuring out the spice, the dip, every little thing. So I'd say we're on like version 666 right now of like recipes.
666.
That's just the number that I like to mess around with, but probably not that many attempts. But so yeah, it was just kind of playing with things. And so like once after we did like the curbside pickups, then we started doing pop-ups around town and like going official. And like, so Whippoorwill was the first like official one. So
so I didn't miss out on that much.
No, Whippoorwill, that was like, that was like the first. That was like,
okay.
So you saw us in like a little baby stage.
Yeah. And guys, I'm kind of like a stalker creeper sometimes because then I remember your brother. Then I run into him in a coffee shop. He looked at me. I looked at him. I'm like.
He was like, hey, I know you.
Yeah, I was like, I know you. And then I literally pulled up a picture. Are you this one? I think you were cooking chicken with Andrew.
Did you really?
Yes.
That's so funny.
You think I'm as shameless as you?
No, that's so funny.
I'm like,
yeah, Justin was in it with me. Justin. So even like back up, even like a little further. Justin was living in LA at the time, right? So he was like in the hot chicken scene like before I was, and he came up with like the acronym. So JAM. So JAM is it's like an acronym for me and my two brothers, Justin, Andrew, and Michael. But it's also like a play on just like the music tense of the word too, like jam out. Because we're all like big,
very family oriented.
Yeah, very family oriented. We're all like into music, love music. They play music, I don't. But
you cook so they can play music,
right? Yeah, they can play it. Justin's DJ'd at Jam Hot before.
Oh really?
Yeah. So, and like the branding and like when you come to Jam, it's it's loud music, it's hip hop, it's pop culture,
it's upbeat.
Yes, so that's part of the brand too. So it's a little backstory on.
No, I love that. You are one of the only places that I actually did a reel.
Right.
That had some cursing on it because I'm like, I'll go with the brand.
It works. I forgot to close that. I forgot to come back and loop that in. So, Justin like hand drew like the JAM like old school logo, and like so he kind of originated. Not like I guess like the name. I had a chance to like change it if I wanted to and like whatever, but I loved like the acronym and like what it stood for. And but yeah, so Justin definitely like played a part in like helping me like
That's
figure
awesome.
out what it should like look like.
So did he get out of a job and just came join you to Orlando? Is that what happened, or he just
like because he was in LA and
yeah?
shit? He was like working in the music industry. And then he just kind of I don't know, maybe like a change of heart, kind of fell out of what he was doing there and moved back home. And
I'm just saying not to be
no
nosy, but it's because it was good timing that he was there to help you with all
for
the
sure.
pop-ups. So
for sure, yeah. Oh my god,
great.
yeah. At that time, that was crucial. I had like another guy who worked at Pizza Bruno with me who helped a little bit, but yeah, no, that was big. It was, and that's like for me too, like you mentioned, being family orientated, and so like working with family or like people that you trust and love is like a plus for me. So
yeah, because I mean, I hope he's not going to screw you, so you had more trust.
right. And if he does, then I know where he lives.
Right. Or to call his mom.
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome. And then now I remember my first video did really well. It was so random.
Yeah.
There was a chicken song that was very popular in COVID.
That. Yes.
And I put that song with my video of the pop-up.
Wow.
And then I think after that, you found me.
I think, that's right.
Yeah,
right?
Because you were like, what the heck? Because
like,
I didn't tell you anything.
No,
I was just like,
just
can
kinda...
I record you and risk getting burned? You're like, sure.
That was amazing.
Yeah, and then I think you had worked on developing the recipe.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, would you come out? Like, you don't have to video. I'm very thankful. And that's when you were at Grape in the Grain.
Yes,
so
Grape in the Grain.
Slowly moving
God,
up.
I couldn't think of the freaking name. Sorry, Alexi.
And I was like, sure, that's pretty close to my house.
Yeah.
Without saying much, because I don't want people knowing where I live.
Yeah, that was a gnarly one, the Grape in the Grain. I think it rained like at the end. Like
crazy, but I still remember to this day. That's when I tried your Cheetos one.
We did the Hot Cheeto
and I tried
dust.
the Hot Cheeto. And then I have like...
Shout out to Maddie Matheson.
I am shameless, but that video, I'm like, why, Chantal? I'm literally like eating the hot Cheeto chicken and then drinking wine, and you can see my whole tongue. It's all purple wine.
Oh my
and
gosh, yeah.
I'm like, why is this on the internet
Oh
again?
my
Can you walk me through?
gosh.
But again, the video went well. It helped
Right.
you. And I'm like, I like Andrew. If I want somebody to do well, I'm like, it's okay.
I love that. And that was like, at that time, it's like where like food culture, like food vlogging, or I hate saying the word foodie, like content. What would you call like this kind of like the content that you do?
I would
and,
say like the content creator scene was
content creator was nowhere near as like what it is now.
No, but
like
it was
2021,
no, but back then it was kind of growing.
It was growing.
It was a core group. Yeah, it was definitely growing.
So it was like so cool to like have you out there and just like getting that support like naturally, organically, and like I was like so thankful for like that kind of stuff.
No, yeah, and just like other interviews. And sorry that I jumped in. It's like people is like, oh, did he not charge you? I'm like, no, but I paid my first chicken and brought him a lot of business, and I supported before he supported me back.
Right.
And those are the kind of things that I feel like people don't see.
No, they don't.
They really don't. It's like, I don't know how much I spent, but I definitely paid the first time, and then you were so grateful inviting me, which that starts and builds the relationship.
100%.
And then you lose track of those things, but those are the kind of things that people don't see behind the scenes, and they just see final video. Oh, this is all a fairy tale. No.
Yeah. No, it's that's like the best thing about it for me too, is like the relationship building and
no part.
Like having fun with that, and like even just like, you know, coming here to like support you and like your pod and like what you got going, and like I found it interesting, and we bumped into each other at the taste event a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And like this came up, and like so it's like you know, it's like just giving back, and like people that like you like enjoy working with and hanging out with. And
I totally appreciate it, because it's more like you said, this brings me joy.
Right.
Do you believe in it? Do you want to jump on it or not?
Yeah.
And like, if you want to support it, I'm all for it.
Right. If
not, that's okay. So I'm super grateful, and I'm sure along through your journey, you found people that support you and people that, you know, are like, that's kind of fatty, or the oils, or they're just, you know, other excuses.
For sure. For sure. No, it's a huge thing. It's
what been like the crazier or like worst feedbacks that you've gotten?
I would say like if we get negative feedback, it's usually like, and I don't even know if it's negative, but like we'll get the like, oh my God, it's too hot for me, or like there's like those kind of things, which is like not negative, because it should be too hot for some people, right? Like my first experience,
it's not called jam hot for no reason.
No, and it's not called hot chicken because it's not hot, right? So it's like, and I totally get that. So like I don't look at that as negative, because my first experience with hot chicken, I got one that was too hot for me. So I had to dumb it down and like go under it. Oh my God, I was like dying. But I kept going back. I was like, oh my God, it's so good, but it's so hot. It's so But that's like part of the fun too. So like aside from that, you know, of course you're gonna get like a big thing now with like, you know, cost of goods, like prices on things and like things like that. It's like that's always like an odd battle to fight.
So do people comment, oh, it's too expensive?
Like we've gotten that before, right? And it's like well, it's hard to like combat that. It's like, and like for me too, like I never want to just like jump in and be like, well, because it's like that's not for me to you know, like defend, so to speak. But like just like where cost of goods are, it's like, man, everything's a little more pricier than maybe we once, you know, paid for it, right? So it's like, but and like for us, for Jam Hot, how we justify it is it's a small, tight team. Like you guys see me here, but I probably made your sando yesterday. I probably posted this video, did this kind of thing. So it's like the team is so small where like everyone you see there is doing everything every day, whether it's like everything from just every aspect of it. So, and then on top of that, like we try to use quality ingredients. We're making everything that we have there in house. Like all those like little things like play a factor in like what we charge and like what we do. But honestly, like negative feedback, the city of Orlando has been so good to us. We're like so lucky.
Awesome.
We I can't say like we received like a lot of like negative feedback, which is I think also like a testament to just like what we're doing, and like it's very like specific. Like we're not
Yeah, it's
doing
like very niche.
very niche. Like I didn't want to bite off too much that I couldn't chew. Like that's in regards to like the size of the space, to the menu, to like everything. I believe in like doing a few good things really well.
Yeah, because you're very consistent. And then I feel like every so often you'll have a collaboration, a new item, you know? How often do you try to do that?
So like that's like our way to like do more and like offer more, is like running specials, running collabs. Like we just I know we were talking about earlier, like the collab with Super Rica, like was like so was so fun.
So sad.
So fun. We did like a play on like a torta ahogada, which is basically like, it's like a drowned sandwich. It's like a really like wet sandwich.
Listen, in front of me, you cannot say ahogada. I will chop you.
You know what ahogada is.
It's ahogada.
Ahogada.
The H is silent in Spanish.
Ahogada.
Yes, perfect.
God, shame on me. Sorry, Super Rica. All week I was pronouncing it wrong then. So yeah.
Nobody told you, but
nobody did. No one wanted to correct me except you. So yeah, like right. Those are so fun. I try to like do as much of that as possible.
And how did that come together? That's so
the
cool.
Super Rica specifically?
Yeah.
So that fun.
That blew my. That's such a cool collab.
I didn't
know how
really cool.
A Tex-Mex like Mexican like
corporate restaurant.
Yeah, that has so many locations across states collaborated with
little old me.
Mr. Local Orlando Chicken.
So
like,
cool.
How did that happen?
So I like, because they're pretty new in Winter Park, right? Mm-hmm. They've been there a couple months maybe.
And you're like, oh, I've been here a while, honey.
So I had went like once or twice, and I just really liked it. And I just like reached out to them, like welcoming them to the neighborhood first. And
Listen.
Like it's my neighborhood, like I'm Mr. Rogers or something.
I love it.
So I just like reached out to them, kind of like welcoming them to the neighborhood, whatever. And I was like, if you guys ever want to do a collab or anything like that, I would love to. So I reached out to like their personal like Instagram page and also like the head chefs, just like literally copy and pasted the same message. And their head chef reached back out and was like, oh my God, we'd love to. We're actually working on like a chef collab series for the summer. Would you be interested? And I didn't like really like know what that meant per se, but I was like, hell yeah, like let's do it. So it happened like organically, me just kind of reaching out, like just whatever. And
that's not organic.
Is that not?
You shoot your shot.
Is that forceful? Is that
no? You shoot your shot, and I love it. You put it in the universe. I want this.
That's me. That's like the story of me.
I always love that.
Like, that's like always like kind of my style of like getting shit done, is just like put myself out there.
Let's go. Yeah.
So yeah, so he was super receptive to it. And then I got busy or whatever, and like a week went by, and I like didn't reach back out to them to like confirm it. And then he reached back out to me to see if like it was still something that I wanted to do. And I was like, shit, yeah, let's do it. He gave me the email contact to like email. So then I started corresponding with like their whole team, and they're like so like professional. They got like this team and that's in like that city, like the marketing team.
Welcome to corporate America, baby.
I'm like, damn, I want to be like this one day. Like it's just me. I'm like doing I'm like responding to them. So they had like asked if I had any ideas on like what I would want to do, and they kind of like told me like what they were doing like for the summer. They were collaborating with a few different chefs in town, like Prado, Ravenous Pig, like Brandon and the chef from Ravenous Pig. I'm forgetting his name. I apologize. But and then I had before this I had like seen like a torta ahogada, because I've never had one. And I like always like I've been seeing the dish like throughout the years, and like always I just like wanted to try one, like always like wanted to do one. And I was like, holy shit, like let's do a play on a torta ahogada.
Yes.
So I was like, this would be amazing. And like traditionally it's smothered in like a salsa roja, but I was like, I love y'all's mole. Can we like maybe like cut the mole, thin it out, and do like a hot mole, like pour over? And they loved the idea. So we ran with it. And
creativity
100 creativity, baby. So it was super cool. Chef Andrew, the whole team.
His name is Andrew too?
Chef Andrew at Super Rica, Chef Steven, Marcelo, amazing team. They all really loved it. They welcomed me with open arms, and it went amazing. We raised over $800 for the Cannonball Kids Foundation, Cancer Foundation, which is really, really cool. So we didn't make no money off it.
Off of one dish?
One item. We ran it for
Wow.
a week.
That's awesome.
It went off. Everyone seemed to really enjoy it. So that was super, super fun. So, and it was for a good cause too. Like it was, which is like another plus, like, you know,
That's awesome.
benefiting the city, the youth.
Yeah, no,
So-
I love
so fun.
I know, I love that. And one that I love too was the one that you did with Sampaguita
Oh yes.
That was
Love Marie.
with ice cream.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
what the huh?
Love Marie. That was amazing. We did that like last year, maybe like the first year. Yeah. Because we have milkshakes at Jam Hot, obviously. So, and originally we were using Sampaguita Greenery Creamery ice cream. We moved away from that last year, but still love Marie. We do stuff together as much as we can. But yeah, we did a crazy collab, and we didn't even have like. I think we maybe did it twice. I'm kind of like losing track, but I think the first time, like Marie and her team were just like inside Jam Hot, just like popping up and just like serving ice cream like out of our window. And we did like ice cream sandwiches, but like an actual ice cream sandwich, like with like a cookie. And then it somehow came about to do like a scoop of ice cream like on a chicken sando. And we had no intentions for like people to like want to eat it and want to order it, but people kept trying to order it and do it. So we like made it like an official thing.
That's wild.
It was wild. And like I had it. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever eaten. I'll tell you that. It was actually pretty like okay.
Well, because I mean, the ice cream, it's like a little more on the refreshing,
It was
sweet
like
side.
creamy
Cuts-
and cooling.
Oh, and it cuts into the heat of
For
the
sure.
of the chicken.
So it oddly worked.
Yeah,
We
I
still
can
have
see that.
we still have people asking us, like, I would say like once every other week, someone is like sliding into the DMs or like reaching out and be like, hey, when is this gonna happen again?
That's bad.
So Marie, we gotta run it back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so fun. That was another thing that just like kind of, you know, working with people that support you, you support them, and cool shit happens from that.
No, I love it. Marie is also everywhere.
Yes.
I love her too.
She's amazing.
That's pretty cool. What's another collab or wild or unique idea that you've
So we did
manifested
one
happen?
recently with Lazy Moon. Did you stop by that one? I don't know if you
No.
did.
I
was
missed
just one
it. I'm
night.
so sorry.
No, it was one night. Honestly, I think we did 200 slices in like 2 hours. It like went
What?
it went off. It was man, when was that?
200 in 2 hours?
I was actually like 212 if I'm being like exact.
I like your exactness.
You saw that with like the square feet and like the
Yeah,
slices.
400, whatever.
And you're the numbers girl too. I'm not even the numbers guy.
I know. That's why I love it. I'm gonna correct me anytime you want with that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, Lazy Moon was really, really fun. That came about again, just like I'm a fan of Lazy Moon first, right?
And if you didn't know, they have like giant pizza slices. They're known for that because
Yes.
pizza size is like the size of your head or bigger.
Literally.
So what was that one? Walk me through that one because I totally missed it.
I kind of forgot how like the conversation like started.
But let me guess, you also initiated it.
Probably. It was probably me
I
reaching
love
out and just being
that.
like,
I
I love
love
you
that.
guys. Like, let's do something together. But they had like been coming to Jam Hot too. Like, I know like they were like fans too. So it was just one of those things where, yeah, I think I probably reached out and was like, hey, like, would love to do, you know, a collab. And they were super receptive to it, like super down. And like, I know it was either Francesca or Tim, the owners. Their like favorite item is the box at Jam.
I love that.
Like the loaded fry and everything. It's like the play on the Zinger Mountain Melt from Ale House, but maybe a little better.
We'll get to that one. Keep going.
So they were like, oh my God, let's do like the box on a slice. So I was like, oh my God, that sounds like really fun. So essentially like the collab item that we did was like the box. So like fries, chicken, slaw, pickles, comeback sauce, all on a Lazy Moon slice. And like it worked so well. It was like, it just like totally translated to like what we wanted to do. We were going to do like wings too, but we ended up scrapping that last minute. Like we were going to do it's like a hot like Nashville wing. We scrapped it, maybe next time. But yeah, the slice was so much fun.
But if you're listening and you would like that,
yes,
let Andrew know because
if you guys want that, let me know.
you already know now he's fearless.
So yeah, that was really fun. That
That's badass.
we did that like it was one night. Like we started at 5. I think by 7:30
You're like,
we
done.
had to call it.
Wow.
We didn't know, we like knew it was gonna like pop off probably, and like, but we didn't know what to expect. It was those things you never really know what to expect. It's like you get an idea like leading up to it off like your like marketing and like social and stuff, but it went off. People seem to like really like dig that. I get asked about that still too, like frequently, like if we're gonna.
And to this day, you make all the content?
Yeah.
You're crazy for that.
I know. That's why I'm like so thankful for individuals like you who, are in this world and in this business and create content and are willing to share it and like collab. So
Cute.
a lot of my content, if it's like not me creating it or if it's not like me creating it, it's coming from individuals like yourself,
That's awesome.
and doing collabs with influencers.
That's
So
wild. So this whole time, call it 4-ish years, you've managed the content all yourself.
Yep.
Wow.
Tough. I like saying it is cool.
My respects. My respects.
Thank you. You know how hard it is. Yeah. You do an amazing job at it. You've built an insane following.
And literally, I sleep content. My eyes hurt. Like
it's a job, and like while I do it and like it's cool, I would love to. I love when I don't like have to do it or like, because you know how it is. It's like a living, breathing thing. You have to like put stuff out every day. And me being like an operator too, and someone who likes to be in there cooking and stuff, it's tough to try to do like just like those two things in a day. So, and because like you want to put out like good material, like good stuff. So like that shit takes time and like effort and so like yeah, like I've been doing it, but I love when others like want to come in and like do stuff. And, like,
you're like, yeah, you do the content.
Oh my gosh. Today. And I've worked with like my homies like JD Christian from VD Global, 2 kids I grew up with. They have a boutique branding firm that they started a few years back, and I worked with them like on my branding, illustrations, like all like the fun, cool shit you see from like Jam Hot.
Oh no, it's pretty cool.
As in like regards like the illustrations and the artwork and stuff, that was all done by Christian and his team. And they've done like some like video content for me like in the early stages, but yeah, like
but
90.
You've got the personality. You're shameless. You're like, I'm out here, so you're like, I'm gonna do it.
I try, I try and I try to have like an artistic eye and like know what works and like be in the know, but it's tough. It's tough because like there's people that are better than me at it, so.
But you don't have to be the best at it. You just have to represent your brand well.
Right. For sure. So like, that's like my job, right? Is to like, just like do that at least. And then anything else and like fun we want to do is
you have
like,
the confidence, the looks, like the product. You don't need anything else.
Yeah. But it's like,
ideally more time, but
but it's like just like using you as an example, like you'll have different ideas and I'll have, and like sometimes like that's like refreshing, like that's good. It doesn't need to come from me or like be my idea. I would rather it not sometimes, and like because since I am doing the other stuff, like it's like a pressure release when like someone just has an idea and can just act on it and go.
Do it.
That's like the best. I'm like, oh my God, go. Like, let's go. Like, let's do it.
You're like, perfect.
Yeah. So like, while it's fun to do the things, it's also fun to like work with other people that are just better.
That's awesome. Speaking of ideas. Yeah. Any idea if we are going to see another fried chicken place soon?
Ooh. So we're in the works. I'm about to.
That's a yes. Well, he said yes to the chicken.
So, and you guys will hear it first. We're in the works to re-sign the lease at Hannibal Square.
Nice.
So we're celebrating year 3, which is crazy, in December. Insane. So I'm about to re-sign another 3-year lease for there. And yes, the goal for me is to definitely get a Jam Hot 2 up and operating. Like ASAP. So
any areas of town you're eyeing? Can we share? Can we know what's happening?
I'm like open to on like any area. So like I grew up on the west side of Orlando. Like
got it.
Like Dr. Phillips and like that kind of west side of town.
Is that west?
Winter Garden.
Okay, yeah.
So like over there. So I would love.
Oh my God, I've run into you. In Garden.
I think we have, right? Right.
You thought I lived there. So
I
funny.
did.
I try to go everywhere, but I like that area.
You're everywhere. So like that's like home for me. So I would love to open up something on the west side of town, and like they're craving like something good. Like everything's so like commercial over there, and like. So I feel like they're in like a dire need for like some mom and pops like spots, and Black Bean Deli's opening up on Plant Street, which is exciting for like that area. So I'm looking over there. I'm also, I also may have like something in the works over there, maybe something for downtown Orlando, but everything's like too premature to even mention it.
Got it.
So maybe,
but it's out there.
Yeah.
And knowing Andrew is gonna happen. It's already out. It's already out there, guys.
So
he's fishing.
If we do a number 2, episode 2, maybe down the road, maybe I'll have a little more.
I usually do a reunion, like a season reunion.
So on the reunion,
we'll recap and be like,
yes.
What actually happened with number 2.
So we got some things in the works. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Okay, I like that.
And maybe another concept too. I don't know. We'll see.
Throwing a curveball.
Keep them on their toes, you know. Keep.
I love that. And let me ask you something. One of the big things that, have your beer, for God's sakes, enjoy that shit. I had the guy talking so much he couldn't even enjoy his beer.
He's got me drinking over here.
I'm like, sheesh. So one of the things that I love about having this podcast is showing a little bit of the struggles, the not so glamorous things, but also who is Andrew besides somebody freaking cooking chicken all the time. So who are you besides being there cranking amazing chicken? Who is Andrew?
I mean, shoot, for me, so I grew up in Orlando.
Damn, another Orlando like native.
Yeah.
Love that.
So local all the way. 2 brothers. I grew up, you know, my mom and dad both like really good cooks. So I grew up like eating really good food and just being like spoiled by that. And like at an early age, like I was like the one friend who could like boil pasta and like make a quick like red sauce, right? So it was like
nice.
That was always kind of so like growing up, like eating good food and just like being around it was like always there. But for me, like growing up in Orlando, it was like basketball.
Yeah, if you didn't notice, it's quite tall.
So like playing basketball growing up and like hanging out with friends, it's like doing like normal kid stuff, right? And
no, normal kid stuff, everybody's different.
Right.
Walk me through it.
So I went
This is not the time to be humble.
Is it not?
No. Walk me through.
So
what did you enjoy? Who are you? The good, bad, the ugly?
So, you didn't go to high school here, did you? Right now?
No.
Okay. So I went to Olympia High School, which is like west side of town.
Okay.
Played basketball like my freshman year. Like didn't really like know like what I wanted to do like at that time. Like honestly, like no clue growing up really what I wanted to do. Not until like I was at Valencia, I started to like have an inclination of like what I wanted to do. So I kind of started to really get obsessed with like working in the music industry, but I had no idea what aspect of like that I wanted to do.
All 3 brothers tried music.
Except Michael, my oldest.
Okay.
Justin, yes. So for me, I grew up like loving 50 Cent and G Unit and like Eminem. Still do.
I love that.
So yeah. So this is like me as like just like middle school, high school, like obsessed, right?
Were you like an awkward child or no?
No, I was always the kid. Like
you always like a cool kid.
Is it weird if I like say yeah to that?
No, say it. Own it.
Yeah, I mean,
own it.
I was like for sure. Like I could touch any circle though. Like I could be in like any circle. I could be like with the kids that weren't seen as like the popular crew or like, but I could be in that circle too. I could be in like the nerd circle. I could be like in the jock circle. And that was always me. Like middle school, high school for sure. Like, so like being able to touch.
Versatile.
Yeah. Is that yeah, that's a good way to say it. I'm very versatile. Yeah, so that was always me growing up, being able to kind of I had friends like all ages because of that, right? And especially having two older brothers, I grew up fast. So like I got to see a lot quick.
I
Mature.
don't know what that means, but you said a lot.
All
quick.
good stuff. All good stuff. All good stuff.
I don't know. That's not where my mind goes.
So I mean, yeah, I got to, see a little bit of everything. I got to and that helped me just be like a little more, I guess, mature for my age, and seek out the bullshit and kind of like sift through that. And so like throughout high school, just kind of like didn't really know like what I really like wanted to do. I was just going through. I didn't apply to any colleges.
Nothing.
Valencia. That's it. But like Valencia, you could just walk in and get in.
You're like, I'm gonna walk in the corner.
I
and be
didn't
like,
apply,
that's it.
right?
College done.
He's like, yeah. He's like, yep. He's like, yep.
Even production agrees. Like, okay, college check. Next.
So I had no like.
Did you ended up graduating, right?
Yes. So, went to Valencia.
Graduate?
I graduated 2010.
No, but like, what did you graduate in?
Oh, college.
Like what degree?
So, went to Valencia. Didn't know like whatever. I was just going there to get the AA, right? Just like a general AA, just to get it and probably go to UCF. That was like the whatever. Like
such an Orlando experience.
Such like that's like the true like if you're listening, don't do that. If like you could like try to do anything else other than that experience, because it's not that fun. It's not that rewarding. But for my path was a little different. So again, I'm obsessed with 50 Cent G Unit Records, right? So this is I graduated 2010 high school. I start Valencia 2011, whatever. Twitter's fairly like fresh at that point, very, whatever. So I was just hounding like the VP of G Unit Records. Shout out to Nikki. I was just like hounding her on Twitter. Like, I don't even know what I was saying.
So
like
fearless.
I was just like, so this goes back to me, like just wanting to like everything that I feel like do in my life. It's like, I'm like the cliche of like follow your like heart, or like do the thing you love to do in life, and you'll never work a day. And like that's like me as like a person. I'm like always looking for that. So love G Unit. I basically just like wanted to work for 50 Cent, not knowing what I wanted to do or like how like what I could do for him.
This is my favorite part. You just wanted to work for 50 Cent.
Literally.
Like, I would have never guessed.
You're gonna love this story. So me like hounding Nikki, who was at the time the vice president of G Unit Records.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think I was even like reaching out to like the head of marketing. Shout out to Jeremy. So I'm sitting in like English Comp 1 at Valencia, like just like checking my phone, checking my Twitter DMs, and I had a reply from Nikki, and like I was like reaching out like, hey, like I want to work for you guys, like how the hell can I go about this? Like what can I do for you guys? Is there an internship? Whatever. So she responded something along the lines of hey, like reach out to Jeremy, who is the head of marketing, still is. She was like, hey, reach out to Jeremy, blah, 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 blah. He'll set up something like an interview for you or something, whatever. I stood up out of my chair and I left English comp class, went down to the library so I could hop on a computer to like reply to her and like think about my reply. So at that point, I like was like, okay, like I'm leaving here. So
you're like, screw this.
Literally. So I replied back to her, whatever I said. And then so we had like a few like replies back and forth, but they're in New York. I was here in Orlando. So she ended up syncing me with Jeremy, who is the head of marketing, and he kind of like put me on like a street team here in Orlando. But that ultimately like really was nothing. That was like all like, you got to like kind of go out and just like promote our shit. But they didn't have any projects come out in that year. So like there was nothing to really like promote per se.
But I mean,
it opened the door.
Opened the door and they quasi say yes, but.
Yes. So that kind of, that opened the door for me to be like, how can I, like, what's like the best path to like New York City into the music industry? So I did a little research, discovered Full Sail University. So I left Valencia. looked into Full Sail's like entertainment business, music business program, and decided to do that. So got a loan, went to Full Sail, studied entertainment business, like, and like all the shit that I did.
And the plot thickens. Like,
yes. I know you probably weren't expecting this.
No, I love it.
So, yeah. So like with
and then you went to Full Sail.
Yep. So went to Full Sail. This is 2011, and so it's a 2-year program. It's like a 2-year accelerated like bachelor's program. So 2011, I would graduate in 2013. So
I heard those are super intense.
Super intense. Like 6 days. I kind of forgot. Maybe 7 days a week. Maybe 6. I forget. Maybe 5. I forget. But like the days were long. It was like, I know my schedule most of the time was like 9 to 5 class, like all day, 5 to 6 days a week. There really wasn't like any break. There was like a Christmas break. That was like it.
Wow. Damn.
But for me, like I didn't care. I just wanted to get done.
Let's do this.
I didn't go the traditional route. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to Florida State or go to like UF or UCF where all like my friends were going.
You did your intensive.
I was like, shit, I want to work in the music industry. I was talking to Nikki Martin at the time. Like, it felt so like real and like good to me. I was like, okay, like this is like the path. So while I'm at Full Sail though, like I wasn't really communicating with like G-Unit a lot. I wasn't really like, there was nothing promised, nothing like, given or anything like that. Like I might have even like lost communication with them like for the last like year. But I just knew like if I could get this degree and just like move to New York, like I can maybe make something happen. So 2011, fast forward 2013, I graduate. And like I would say like before I graduated, I was like trying to like figure out like what would be like the move. Like,
so you went from not having a plan to like, let's go, this is what we're doing and we're going to do it tomorrow.
Yep. So it went from, to literally not having a plan to I want to move to New York City and I'm just going to like try to work for G-Unit. No idea if it's going to work or not. So I graduated. I found a place to live through like a family friend who was like gracious enough to give me like a pretty sweet deal at a place in like a little apartment in Brooklyn. So I moved there with no job, a little money saved up, a plan, right? Like a little bit of a plan, but a crazy plan.
But I mean, you worked for this plan for 2 years at this point.
Yeah. But like, I got nothing from Nikki or Jeremy saying like, oh yeah, when you get to New York, come see us. Like that didn't really like happen.
You just showed up.
So literally.
That's half of the battle, showing up.
100%. So I'm in New York, right? It's snowing when I moved there. I moved there in March 2013. I just got like a job at like the movie theater like down the street from me just to like make like some money like in my pocket like while I was there, right? Not money to like live on by any means. So it took me like a month or 2 or maybe even 3 from living in New York. I just like somehow, I don't even know how I found the address to G-Unit Records at the time. I don't know how I found it, but I found it somewhere in the metaverse, somewhere in the interwebs. And then just went there one day. Just was so nervous, like so like scared. Didn't know what I was walking into. So I get to the building and I asked the doorman if like G-Unit Records was like upstairs. And he's like, yeah. So I was like, okay, sweet. So I'm at like where I need to be. And I just like went up. And as soon as I went up, I like saw like G-Unit Records. Like I was so nervous, I went back down.
You're like, never mind.
I was just like so nervous, like I didn't know like what I was gonna say or do, or like they weren't expecting me just to walk in there. So I walked back down like outside. I think I called my mom, and it was just like I was like, what the hell am I was like, what am I doing? It was just like kind of like pacing back and forth like outside.
Oh my gosh.
15, 20 minutes goes by, and guess who walks outside?
Jeremy.
Not Jeremy, Nikki. And 50.
Oh my God.
I was like starstruck. Like 50 came out. His car was like parked like right out. So it's like the door, you walk out the door and it was like curb car. So him and Nikki walked out, and I had noticed like Nikki from just like knowing who she was, being me. And I just was like, Nikki, hey. I was like, Nikki, hey, it's Andrew from Twitter. She was probably like, what the hell? And she like paused for a minute. She's like, "Oh my god, hey!" I think she might have like recognized me. It took her a minute.
Did she BS you or did she really like recognize
I don't.
you?
Yeah, who knows? I have no idea. I think she did because she was like, "I'll tell Jeremy like you're around, and I'll have him like hit you up." So it was just like me like just kind of like being outside, lingering like that, like allowed the door to open. I think like an hour later, Jeremy had messaged me.
Wow.
And we coordinated for me to come back like the next day to like meet them and like just discuss an internship. And then so I went back the next day.
Wow.
And long story short, so that's 2013. I ended up interning, working for them for about almost 2 years.
Dang.
2013 about 2015.
That's awesome.
Yeah, amazing. So I worked directly under the head of marketing for G Unit.
No wonder, guys, full like circle. He does his own marketing, his own thing, because that's where you started, all that media presence.
Yeah, and that's like
I'm connecting the dots in your story.
The hip hop influence, the
yeah, all the stuff for the gym hot.
Yeah,
I'm like connecting all the dots together.
Yeah, so it's a crazy story. So I ended up working for 50 and G Unit for some time, and
my mind is blown.
Did so much cool shit with them, and got to like do a lot of really fun stuff, and like 50 had a lot going on at that time. Like he was doing like a lot of like boxing like promoting at that time, like very left field. But that was so fun. We got to like put on events in Connecticut. We got to go to like 50's house and hang out like all day, and like
that's awesome.
A lot of cool stuff. And
this is the thing that I wanted you to tell me. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so like that was, and like, my God, that was like my passion. That was like everything I like had dreamed about and like thought about for years was to like work for them. And, like I was there doing it. Every day I would be like on the train going in, like pinching myself, like, because he's on the headphones. I'm going into work at his office, and it was just like, damn.
Wow.
Like sometimes it was just like, holy shit, like riding around like in the bulletproof truck with 50 and like dropping off headphones to Carmelo Anthony's. Like,
you're like, is
sweet.
This really happening?
Just like so many like crazy like just like moments, and just like such a I think about it all the time. Like I think about it all the time.
You know how amazing. And you did that till 15, and then was that right after was Bruno?
So that was 2013 to 2015, and then
no, there was a gap.
There was a gap.
You need to tell me from 15 to 17 because 17 was Bruno.
Yes. So
I'm following.
Yes, you're on the good timeline. Yeah.
So we're only missing 2 years of your life story.
So 2015 to 2017. So I moved back home.
Where was Andrew?
So that time, so like with the whole New York thing and G Unit, I just not lost my way or like my passion for it. I just
was it like
it was unpaid. So I did it
time?
unpaid. Yes. So how I made money during that time was I got a really good serving job.
Excuse me? This whole time you were not paid. It was just the whole
It was unpaid internship. But they're like,
But it was a dream of yours.
100%. I would have did it.
And if you're
I didn't ask him for a penny.
Not everything's money.
No.
So it was a life experience.
But like, I mean, like shit, like we did like a weekend in Connecticut, staying at 50's house and doing like the boxing event. Like they gave me like a little per diem cash. They hooked me up with like a Metro card here and there, lunch. Like, so like those like little things like went a long way too. So, but yeah, like that was, I guess the thing for me was I couldn't figure out how I could monetize like things for them.
Got it.
Like, and I probably would have came around to it, and like, I think things would have changed. But like at the time, like, especially in that industry, like if you're not making money for like the label or like for whoever you're working for, it's like, then you're like, passion's cool, but like a lot of people have passion and like love the brand and love who they're working for. But if you can't like make money, then they'll just keep you around as long as you're
willing
doing
to do
things.
it? Yeah.
Right.
Damn, that's brutal. I had no idea.
Yep. So
like my mind is further blown because I'm like, this whole time, how were you surviving?
Yeah, no. So I got a job at the Standard Grill, the Standard Hotel. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Standard Hotel, but they're in Miami, in New York. Awesome spot. I was there with the Standard Hotel, the infamous Beyonce Jay-Z Solange fight in the elevator.
You were there?
That was at the Standard Hotel. That was at the Standard Grill. I was there. That was during when I was there. Amazing place. So made like
So that's where you started with your food industry.
my first job ever was at Timpano's Chop House on Sand Lake Road, which is now Eddie V's on Sand Lake. So that was my first job ever in high school, was like a backup server assistant. I ended up bar back in there for a little bit. So that was my first like job in a restaurant. So like that's like what definitely like planted the like hospitality like seed of just like what it feels like, just go hustle and bustle and like that whole world, which like I was never able to shake that. Like I loved that job so much, was so thankful for that. To like I was like, a junior in high school, like walking out with like $80 on like a night and like
you're like, I'm rich,
blowing it on like gas and food the next day, like just having so much fun.
Honestly, every person that works in that industry and tells me it's like quick cash and all the tips, and then the next day is gone.
It's gone.
They live in the moment. They go out, then there's a lot of vices, there's a lot of temptations,
oh my gosh,
and it's gone. And
for me, like at that time, I'm in high school. I'm like 16. I'm like just started driving, so it was like you're bullshitting with friends. You're spending it on dumb stuff, food, and whatever the hell you're doing. But like so like that's like what planted the seed. But no, and then like the standard, that was like just like a carry on.
Okay, I know how to do it,
yes.
And I did it at a fancy place, so I got it. And that's how you. Damn.
And then even like before the standard, I know I'd mentioned like work at the movie theater, like before like the G unit and the standard stuff, because like the standard kind of came like a little after. So like before that, I like picked up like a bar backing job at like a bar like down the street from where I was living at in Brooklyn. So a lot of jobs I have done were like in food and beverage, whether it was front of house or back of house. But until 2015.
You owe me 2 years.
I got 2 years of different stories for you. So my father is in construction. So just like moving back home, not knowing what the hell to do or like what I wanted to do.
So after that 15, you moved to Orlando.
Moved back to Orlando. Not really knowing.
Damn,
like,
we got here at the same time.
Yeah, 2015? Really?
Yeah.
Okay, shoot. Yeah. So that was like, okay, shit, what the hell do I want to do? And like, so just in the meantime, I kind of like went to work for my dad in construction, which is like an insane industry. Like, oh my gosh. So that was just kind of like a placeholder for me. I just kind of, I knew I like didn't want to like do it long term. So in doing that, a buddy of mine had reached out to me, knowing that I was like back home and stuff and kind of like looking for something else. He was working at the Golf Channel, which was like on Sand Lake Road, like local here. They've recently, I think, moved to Connecticut, but so he was at the Golf Channel and had reached out if I was interested. They were looking for people in like their sales department or whatever the hell. And I was like, yeah, I'm not a golfer, never have been.
You're like, why not?
It's like the one sport I like don't play and like don't really like watch. But I was like, why not? It's like a good company, like it's NBC Golf Channel, good company. So then I ended up doing that for like 2016 to like 2018. And that was like awesome place. NBC, great company to work for. Golf Channel, amazing. Met a lot of awesome people there. Learned a lot of like sales skills, Mrs. Sales over here. So like learned a lot with that. I ended up like elevating myself into like a lead managerial kind of like role. And
so you got some corporate training.
Yeah.
There.
For sure. Yeah. I got a little something, So like that kind of like helped like molded like certain things about like what I was thinking about and like what I wanted to do, but I had no like conviction in like what I was doing. Like I was just doing it to do it.
You're like, let's check the box.
Yeah, sure. I was making decent money, like, but I didn't love it. So then I started to go to just like Pizza Bruno as like a patron, just as like a fan, just as, eating pizza.
Interesting. And that's how you ended up working there?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I just, here goes another like me just putting myself into the spot. I was just like at Pizza Bruno like one time, like eating. We had just finished up and I walked up to whoever was there. I think it was Jordan. Shout out to Jordan at the time. And I was like, hey, I don't need a job per se. I just want to come in like 1 or 2 nights a week and like learn how to make pizza. Is that something that you guys would be like down to like do? And you know, like this industry, it's like shit. If anyone's like lending a hand or
They're like, sure.
they're like,
Come help us
hell
out.
yeah. Like, so I think it was more so like that for them than like wanting to like train me or like show me how to make pizza.
You want to help? We don't have to pay you?
Literally.
That's
Literally.
awesome.
So they were like, hell yeah, like come in. So I went in like 1 or 2 days and I was like, damn, I love this. So me being like an Italian, someone who loves food, loves pizza. Pizza's Hut has like always been like something that I just like love to do and like always like wanted to learn how to like make it. And so like that's like what sparked that, like me to ask them. But like once I was in it and doing it, I was like, oh shit.
Like, I like this.
I love this. Like,
Ooh.
I want to do this. So then I was like, but I was still at the golf channel full time, Monday through Friday. And then going to Pizza Bruno like once or like 1 or 2 nights a week. So I was doing both and like was pretty busy. But then I was realizing that I was enjoying the Pizza Bruno, like
more.
going into making pizza than the 9 to 5 at golf channel. So I quit the golf channel to do Pizza Bruno full time. So a complete like switch, a complete change, but it felt right. It was like, it was just like, oh, like, yeah, like this is like what I want to do.
Oh my God. I love this. It's like, guys, we started with Bruno and we end with Bruno.
Yes, I know.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Andrew's story.
Yep.
Oh my God. That is awesome.
So that turned into
I love that you've changed so much and go back to finding your passion and then like droving in and you were not afraid. You were like, this feels right at the moment. I'm going to do it. Then, yes, I had a little money. Let me get my feet wet. Let me get my life straight.
Mm-hmm.
But then let me do what I really enjoy. I love that. I absolutely love that.
And like none of that was planned, you know. It's just like it just kind of like, oh my God, I remember like walking around.
You
like,
were leading into it, just not
Yes.
not like in a straight line, but
No.
you were like figuring out, knocking on doors until you're like, this is my door.
And like sometimes like you don't even like realize that though. It like takes like the perspective like afterward to be like, oh shit, like this was kind of like steps I was taking. And like, because I was at the golf channel and I was so unsure. I was like, because I was leaving like a really good job. And they had like passed on me for like a certain promotion. And like, I think if I had got that promotion, things could have went differently. So like the fact that like I didn't get that, I think helped me. But I remember just like walking around campus, like listening to Tupac, like All Eyes on Me, like fuck this shit. Like, you know, just trying to like figure out like what I wanted to do and like take it into my own hands and like.
I love that.
And just like be inspired and like, because it's hard to see that stuff. Like when you're going through it and you're stressed and you're like trying to figure out shit, it's like you don't see the bigger picture sometimes. And
yeah, I'm glad you didn't lose sight. I'm so glad because now we have amazing chicken.
Yeah.
And you heard it. He's manifesting the number 2, working on something else. So I'm going to be there trying that chicken.
Yes.
I hope all of you are.
Yes.
You can follow him on @Jam Hot Chicken because he never said that, but I'm going to say it. And if you want more of this story, comment, let us know. We'll bring Andrew back for season reunion. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Andrew.
Oh my God, thank you.
I was a fan and now I'm like, my love grew a little bit more. I totally appreciate you. So you already know, like, subscribe, share, y let's keep on chisme. Choo, choo, choo.